The residential school system is I guess a kind of a broad, encompassing system that included a series of different schools run by the churches, funded by the government, designed to eradicate Aboriginal culture and inculcate Aboriginal peoples with Canadian culture, basically assimilate them into Canadian society. I was just teaching residential schools this week in my class, and it's part of basically all the classes I teach, because the residential school experience is a basic part, not just of Aboriginal history in North America and Canada specifically, but of Canadian history and American history for that matter too. There's no way we can possibly understand what's happening right now without understanding residential schools, and especially residential schools as part of colonialism in the Americas. So, it's really important that we talk about and quantify what happened at residential schools, the number of kids that died, the frequency of disease, the amount of the abuse. We need to document these things and count numbers, and we need to quantify these experiences and what happened. But maybe even more important, or at least right now, what's equally important is understanding this history, not just in numbers, but in terms of the experiences of people and how those experiences, they didn't, none of this history ended when the last residential school closed in 1996. The legacy lives on, like I said, in this, the social system and the social welfare and criminal justice systems, and it lives on in almost every Aboriginal community and reserve in the country now. The challenges associated with housing and access to clean water and resource development and economic development and impoverishment and substance abuse, and so all of these issues are directly related to the history of residential schools. So we need to talk about it, and we need to know more about it, and we need to embrace it as part of our history if we're going to move on. And so the work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and other bodies that are basically shedding light on not just the numbers of the past, but the experience of the past is critical to moving forward as a nation and healing.